How do the parameters on MAINFRAME-B Visual Instrument actually work? How do they help you take your MIDI and bring it to the world of color and pattern in a way that fits you? Unlike a lot of other lighting systems, which is very pre-rendered, very scene and trigger based, it doesn't really allow you to now improvise and play with the system in real time, depending on how you feel and what you're trying to express in that moment. Whereas we want to make a system that is the opposite, where you could, let's say if you're a performer, you could go into a show not having anything prepared. Which sounds a little scary, but it's a very different kind of experience because now you are shaping and crafting the experience in real time based on the moment, based on what's happening in that moment. And even if you're a music producer, the ability to now explore the MAINFRAME engine and how it actually represents your music, how it takes your MIDI and translates it into the world of color and pattern. Parameters are one of the core ways to now explore that relationship in a way that you don't need to have any expectations for how lights should look and feel exactly based on your music, but now it's something to discover through parameter control. All the parameters are controlled via the onboard UI or through MIDI CC, which allows you to basically have a very hands-off approach with the product. These 10 parameters will have its own unique values per zone, which allows a lot of layering possibilities, and MAINFRAME-B will handle that layering for you, allowing you to really mix and match the different looks, feels, and behaviors of each MIDI track. The parameters are all values between 0 and 127, which is displayed on this UI LED bar. The parameter encoder allows you to scroll through the different parameters, and then when you press it down, you can now edit that parameter. And if you want to use MIDI CC, which I highly suggest you do, this chart here will outline all the different CC values and which parameter or modulation option they control. And on the UI, if you see a blue LED, that means the last value that parameter has received was from MIDI CC. Out of the 10 parameters, there are different categories between them. First, you have the modulated parameters, which are the parameters that could be modulated, and that's worth a different video, but I'll give you a quick overview. Modulation is where each MIDI note that comes in could take on a different parameter value based on its pitch, velocity, or just even a random value, which gives a lot of variation and subtlety and nuance to the lights. And this whole playability factor comes in here where it truly matches the richness of music. Next, we have the non-modulated parameters, which are per zone. They're zone-wide values and they can't be modulated. Then we have the display parameters, which are the parameters that are responsible for how the lights look. It is the color and the brightness of the lights. We have the animation parameters, which are responsible for how the lights animate through time and space. Then we have the input modulation ranges, which is responsible for assigning a smaller subset of the pitches or velocities for modulation on that zone. And then finally, we have output ranges, which is responsible for setting a separate segment of the LED strip to that zone. And that was a quick overview of parameters. We have other videos on the other features of MAINFRAME-B, modulation, zones and layering, and presets, among many others. So I suggest you watch those if you're interested in learning more about MAINFRAME-B.